talked about in some time because there is a bit of new evidence that has been released in George Zimmerman's murder trial. His defense team says that this photo was taken by a Florida police officer the night that unarmed teen Trayvon Martin was killed. Mr. Zimmerman claims that he shot Martin in self-defense after being repeatedly punched in the face, and this may be some evidence of that. He is charged with second-degree murder. This trial gets underway in June of this year. There's a picture from October of George Zimmerman in a hearing that happened a couple of months ago. Joined now by Eric Schwarzreich, he's a defense attorney, and Marla Tchaikovsky, who is a former prosecutor. Good to have you both here. Welcome.
Thank you.
Martha, good morning. Thank you.
Good morning. Good morning. So, obviously this is going to be right back in the news. It got a ton of attention. Trayvon Martin was a teenager who was walking home from a convenience store with some iced tea and Skittles. George Zimmerman approached him, according to what we know about this, and he claims that there was a scuffle between the two, and that he was concerned that he was going to get hurt, and that he did get hurt. How, before the killing happened, and Trayvon Martin lost his life that night? So we have to go back to some of the evidence here, and it is difficult, Eric, because these two people were the only ones who were there and who witnessed it, and one of them is now gone. What do you make of this evidence?
Martha, a picture's worth 1,000 words. In this case, this picture is worth reasonable doubt. It is worth everything. It is a silent witness. It captured what happened. It shows bruises. And this isn't like the movie My Cousin Vinny, where Joe Pesci's character and Marissa Tomei are surprised that you get reciprocal discovery. That is the ability for the state attorney's office to turn over every single police report and pictures. And this was released later. There was originally a black and white photo. And this photo shows what can be reasonable doubt, shows marks, shows bruises, shows cuts, shows reasonable doubt, which is everything in a criminal case.
Is there something to be made of that, Marla, that this photo was released in a black and white version and that now it's come out in color and you can see a little bit more of the extent of the damage? And we heard Mr. Zimmerman talking to Sean Hannity about how his nose was broken, and that was when he began to really get scared.
I think what we all need to really look at is what the investigators had to look at and what the state attorney's office looks at when they decide to pursue criminal charges against someone. In this case, they saw the photographic pictures. The defense is making a big stink about it because they got originally a black and white photo. However, the Florida Rules of Discovery allow defense teams and defense attorneys to go to the state attorney's office to inspect, to photograph, and to make copies of any and all discoveries. So is there a timing issue where I think that it's a little suspect because the defense fund is at an all-time low? Yes, absolutely. I think this is why this is now being raised in a court of law.
What do you think about that,
Martha, if I would agree with Tchaikovsky, but we'd both be wrong. This is reciprocal discovery. Tchaikovsky knows better than that. They have an obligation, the state attorney's office, to turn over every single piece of evidence and not hold back on anything. I mean, Tchaikovsky, you're a better defense attorney than you are prosecutor. You know, I have seen you in many a courtroom, you know that the state attorney's office has to turn over everything. It is loathsome, repulsive, and disgusting that everything is not turned over. There is the court of law, there's the court of public opinion. We want a fair trial. What happened to Trayvon Martin is sad, it's a tragedy, but we need a fair trial. That's what everything is all about.
How are we doing on that front? And there's a picture of young Trayvon Martin who was killed on that night. How are we doing on the public opinion front? Because Mr. Zimmerman has a website. He's been, seeking to raise some money for his defense, and then this sort of perhaps strategic release of this photo at this time to kind of keep this in the public view, one might say. Marla?
I completely agree with that. I think all the reports are correct when they say the timing is suspect, all these motions that are being filed now by the defense team. I think that what everyone needs to look at is the people that made the original decisions to charge him with that second-degree murder. They had access. They had the discovery. And the defense did get this photograph. Did they get it in a, color photograph? No. But was that always available for them? Yes.